Hello, welcome to this solution video and thank you for clicking on that thumbnail. If you like this whole video, please show it by clicking on that thumbs up icon and share with your friends and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much. Let's start the video with question number 1. Question number 1 says that simplify this. We can see this has a base. Everyone has a base. It's being added, and then they have exponents which are variable. So we have to simplify this whole thing, hopefully in one term only. All right. So first thing first, we see that 625, 125, and 5, all three are exponents of 5. So let's convert them into exponents of 5 first. So 5 to the power 4 is 625, and then it has an exponent. So we know that when you have an exponent and again an exponent, they multiply. So I will multiply this here, 3x over 4 minus 1. Now next there is addition, and then 125 is 5 cube, and it multiplies with x minus 1. If this was not plus, it was multiply, it would be easy, right? But this plus will force us to do something different. So here we already have 5, and this is 3x minus 2. Now, since there is an addition here, we cannot we can't mix the two, simply because we don't have any formula or any law for exponential addition. So what we'll do here, let me first open this bracket and see if we can take something common out of these two. So what does this become? The first one, 5. 4 times 3, 12x over 4. And then 4 times 1 is minus 4. Plus 5 to the power 3x minus 3. Yeah, I opened this bracket as well. Divided by 5 to the power 3x minus 2. Now this 4 and 12 can cancel, and now we see something which is interestingly common. So this one becomes 5 to the power 3x minus 4 plus 5 to the power 3x minus 3 divided by 5 to the power 3x minus 2. Well, 3x minus 3 is bigger than 3x minus 4, right? Why I'm saying that? Because we can say that 3x minus 3 is equal to 3x minus 4 plus 1. Yes? If I do minus 4 plus 1, I get minus 3. So can I change this into 3x minus 4 plus 1? So it will become 5 to the power 3x minus 4 is already here. Here I will make it 3x minus 4 plus 1 outside. Yeah, this thing can be written like this also. I want something to be common in these two. Divide by 3 to the power 3x minus 2. Now, we also know that if I say 5 to the power a multiplied by 5 to the power b will be 5 to the power a plus b. Yes, that's the exponential law. Let's say this is a and this is b. That means I can go reverse and write this one as, let me write the first 3x minus 4. And here I can write 5 to the power 3x minus 4 multiplied by 5 to the power 1. Yeah, I did the opposite of what this law says. Divide by 3 to the power, not 3, 5 to the power 3x minus 2. And now let's finish it here. What I'll do, I'll take 5 to the power 3x minus 4, which is in both now, as common. So nothing is left here, it is taken common, so only 1 can be written in place of this, plus. This is taken common, so we are left with 5. 5 to the power 1 is just 5. Divided by 5 to the power 3x minus 2. Now they are multiplying. These two are multiplying. That means same basis, their exponents can be subtracted now. So we can write 5 to the power 3x minus 4 minus 3x minus 2. It is only possible if they are multiplying and dividing, okay? Otherwise, we wouldn't have been able to do this. So 6, 1 plus 5 is 6 is separate. So here we get what? 3x minus 3 is 0, so cancel out. Minus 4 minus 2, which plus 2. So minus 4 plus 2 is minus 2, divided by, so multiply by 6. Let's make this minus 2 positive by bringing it down. 6 remains the numerator, 5 square. And finally we get 6 out of 25, even x is gone. This is the simplest form of what they've given us.
In this question number 2, they have given us 2 points and we need to divide the line joining them externally in a ratio 3:2. So let me have an idea where are these points. Okay, so suppose this is x coordinate, this is y coordinates. 7 minus 5 will be somewhere here approximately, and minus 2 7 will be somewhere here, minus 2 7, and this is the line joining there. The word divide, right, divide usually means that we have to divide this line, cut this into pieces, this line, but no, because it is externally, that means we have to extend this line further so that whatever is the added part, with this second part is the added part, this 2 is the added part, let's call it n. Okay, so this is the part n, so that it total becomes 3. So if this is 1 unit, it's n times, that means 2 times is added, right, and total becomes 3 times. That's what 3:2 extension or dividing externally means. And the formula for that is mx2 minus n x1 over m minus n. This is the x coordinate. And similarly, my2 minus n y1 over m minus n. This is y coordinate. Now the question arises here that we can extend this way also. Yeah? Why only that way? So because they have given a sequence of points to us, so we'll just take them as x1 and x2 like this. So I'll take this one as x1, this one as y1, x2, y2. Okay, because there is no specific order, we could have reversed them also, but we'll use this way. All right, so let's use the formula. And what is m? M is this, the total length that has to be there. So m is 3 times x2 is minus 2 minus n is 2 and x1 is 7. Okay, m minus n, 3 minus 2, comma 3 times y1, no, y2, 7 minus n is 2 times minus 5 over 3 minus 2. Okay, so 3 times minus 2 is minus 6 and minus 14, minus 20 over 1. So basically it's 20, minus 20, and this will be 21, this is 5, plus 10, 31 over 1. Okay, so the point that divides them externally into 3:2 is minus 20, 31, and minus 20, 31, that will be here, minus 20, 31. If we would have reversed the points, our answer would be somewhere here. Okay, so both answers would be correct. Part B of the same question. Without using calculators or mathematical tables, evaluate this, leaving your answer in this format, and p, q, and n are integers. We will find them. All right. So it is 2 over 1 minus square root 2 minus 2 over 2 plus square root 2. So whenever we have a third denominator, we rationalize the denominator by multiplying by the conjugate. So conjugate of 2 plus square root 2 is 2 minus square root 2. So we'll multiply up and down by the same. And same we'll do here. The conjugate of 1 minus square root 2 will be 1 plus square root 2. Yeah. So let's multiply. So the first one becomes 2 plus 2 square root 2. And multiplication of this will be, we know an identity that a plus b multiplied by a minus b is a square minus b square. The same will apply here. It will be 1 square minus square root 2 square. So 1 square minus square root 2 square. So square root and square will get cancelled. Similarly here. So it will be 2 multiplied by 2 minus square root 2. So it will be 4 minus 2 square root 2. Keep in mind that because we are adding a line here for the fraction, this minus applies to this negative also, and it will make it positive later on. Okay, we have to keep in mind. So what will be the denominator? Same, a square minus b square, which will be 2 square minus square root 2 square, and again this square and square root get cancelled. So we are left here 2 plus square root 2 divided by 1 minus 2 is minus 1. Yeah, minus 1. Okay, minus 4 minus 2 square root 2, and 2 square is 4, and this is 2. 4 minus 2 is 2. I can see a chance of cancellation here because there is a minus. I'm doing it directly, but let me explain what I'm doing here. I'm taking 2 common out of the numerator. So out of 4, if I've taken 2 out, I will be remaining with 2 minus, out of this 2 square root 2, if 2 is out, only square root 2 will be left, and divide by 2. This 2 and this 2 cancel out. So we are left with just 2 minus square root 2. So it will be minus 2 minus square root 2. I put this bracket because this minus has to apply with both. Right? Similarly, this is minus and this is 1. So one denominator is insignificant, but this minus will make both of them negative. Okay, so let's open this second bracket. Minus 2 square root 2 minus 2 plus square root 2 minus 2, and minus 2 give us minus 4. Minus 2 square root 2 and plus 2 square root 2 will give us minus square root 2, right? Yeah. There are 2 here and there is 1 here, so it will be minus 1. So minus square root 2. This is the final answer. We can't rearrange it because both of them are negative.
Question 3. How many terms of the series this add up to 165? First of all, we should see if it is a arithmetic series or geometric series. So first we'll confirm it if it is AP. Minus 1 minus minus 3. Second term minus first term should be equal to the third term minus second term. So it is minus 1 plus 3 equal to 1 plus 1. 2 is equal to 2. Yes, it is AP. Hopefully it is not GP. Yeah, there should not be any confusion. So negative 1 divided by negative 3, second term divided by the first term, should be equal to third term divided by negative 1, and 3 is not equal to negative 1. So it is not GP. It is AP. And now add up. That means we have to find the sum. And the formula for sum is S is N, Sn is N over 2, 2A plus N minus 1 D. A is the first term, D we just got it 2, yeah, second term minus first term, or third term minus second term gives you D, so 2 is D, so D is 2. A is minus 3, the first term we know it, And Sn is 165 because they add up to 165. So we know everything except n, and that's what they're saying. How many terms? That means find n. What is n? So let's put everything here. 165 equals to n over 2. 2 times a is minus 3 plus n minus 1 and d is 2. So let's get rid of this 2 by cross multiplying here. 2 times 165 will be 330 equal to n minus 6. 2 times minus 3 is minus 6. And 2 times n is 2n. 2 times negative 1 will be minus 2. So 330 equal to n minus 6 minus 2 is minus 8 plus 2n. So if I open this bracket now, I get 330 equal to minus 8n plus 2n square. Let's make it a quadratic by bringing 330 also to the right side. Normally people bring it to the left side, but because this is positive, I want to keep it positive. So 2n square minus 8n minus 330. And this is our quadratic. Let's make it simpler by dividing by 2, everything by 2, so that we don't get such a big number. So 0 is equal to n square minus 4n minus 165. And we can see, if you want to use your calculator, you can do that, but I want to factor this. 165 times 1 is 165, and the factors of 165 are 15 and 1, and that's what will help me to factor this. So let me do it here. N square minus 15n plus 11n minus 165 is equal to 0. Let's take n common here. N minus 15 plus 11. So n minus 15 is in both. Taken common, we are left with n here, 11 here. So this gives me n equal to 15. This will give n equal to negative 11. Number of terms cannot be negative, so you reject this answer. Question was, how many terms of the series add up to this? So you can write 15 terms add up to say 165. That's the answer.
In question 4, they have given sin x and they're asking us what will be 1 minus tan square x. They have given a domain 0 to 90 degree. What they are trying to tell us, that all the ratios are positive, because in first quadrant 0 to 90 degrees every ratio is positive, so that is just an information. Alright, so let me use this by drawing a right angle triangle. So this is 90 degree, and sine x is, what is sine? Opposite over hypotenuse, correct? That is sine. That is P minus Q is opposite. So if this is the angle x, P minus Q is opposite and P plus Q is hypotenuse. That's what it means. So we have to find adjacent for tan, because they're saying we have to write tan. So we'll use Pythagorean theorem, right? Let's call it A. So P minus Q square plus A square equal to P plus Q square. So A square equal to P plus Q square minus P minus Q square, which becomes, if we expand this, it will be P square plus Q square plus 2PQ minus P square plus Q square minus 2PQ. Yeah, and let's expand. p square plus q square plus 2pq minus p square minus q square plus 2pq. So p square cancels with p minus p square, q square with minus q square, a square is 4pq, and if we square root both sides, it becomes a equal to 2 square root pq. Alright, so in place of a we will write 2 square root pq. We know tan x will be opposite over adjacent. So what is opposite? Opposite is p minus q. We know that. So equal to p minus q, and adjacent we just got 2 square root pq. But the question is 1 minus tan square x. That's what we have to express. Yes, 1 minus tan square x. So we'll just substitute what we just got. This is tan x. So p minus q over 2 square root pq square. Yeah. So 1 minus, okay, the square of p minus q will be, let's put a bracket here, p square plus q square minus 2pq divided by square of this will be back 4pq, what we square rooted earlier to find tan the adjacent. Alright, so let's multiply this by 4pq over 4pq to have same denominator. So the denominator is now 4pq, and we are left with 4pq minus p square minus q square plus 2pq. Okay, so nothing is getting cancelled out. So final answer will be 2pq and 6pq minus p square minus q square over 4pq. That's the final answer. Question number 5 talks about three forces, 10 newtons, 14 newtons and 16 newtons, and they are acting on a particle, and the particle is in equilibrium. Alright, find the angle between 10 newton and 16 newton. So they have not specified what is the direction. So since we don't know the direction, but we know that they are in equilibrium, that means if these three forces are drawn as vectors, we will reach where we started from. So let me show you what I mean. So suppose this is 10 newtons, this is 14 newtons, a little longer, and this is where we come back. This is 16 newton. In equilibrium of three forces or four forces or any number of forces, if we draw them head to tail, we will reach where we started, and that's how an equilibrium is reached. Now the question is, find the angle between 10 newton and 16 newtons. So we will think that this is the angle between 10 newton and 16 newtons, but no, the angle is always tail to tail, but this is head to tail. So we'll take care of this later. First, let's find this angle. Let's call this angle as theta. Okay, and we can use cosine rule. We know cosine rule is a square equal to b square plus c square minus 2bc cosine. So this is the angle we have to find. So let's name this as a. So this will be small a. Let's call it b. So 16 newton will be small b, and let's call it c. So it will be small c, and we'll use cosine rule now. So let's substitute the values. Okay, 14 square is 196, 256 plus 100 minus 160, 320 cos A. Okay, 196, this is 256, so minus 356 on the left side. Okay, so now it becomes minus 160 Okay, divide by minus 320 on both sides, cancels out, they become positive, so 0.5 equal to cos A. So A becomes cos inverse 0.5, and if we use calculator, that come out to be 60 degrees. So the angle here is 60 degrees, but this is not tail to tail as we said. So let's do what? Let's copy 10 newtons here, but let's slide 60 newton this way. This is 60 newton. Now it becomes tail to tail, and we know that this angle is 60. So the angle here will be 120, which is tail to tail. So answer is 120 degrees. This is the angle between the forces 10 Newton and 60 Newton. In question number 6, they have given an arrangement in words which has been interpreted into this picture. You can pause the video and see that everything is interpreted well. So now you can see that this is the only force upwards which is balancing the 3 forces downwards. Okay, but since there is only one force, that means this will be the pivot, right? And the other forces will be having moment along this. So if D is on the left side of pivot, so it will be in counterclockwise or anti-clockwise direction. This one, 50 Newton, is the mass of Wx. You have 50 Newtons. They're written in the question, the weight is 50 Newtons. So this will be clockwise. Similarly, 20 Newton force is also clockwise because it is on the right side of the pivot. Now the anti-clockwise moment will be equal to the sum of clockwise moments. So we will find them now. So the anti-clockwise moment is T force multiplied by distance 25 centimeter equal to the force 50 Newton multiply how much distance it is from the pivot, 10 centimeters, plus now 20 Newton force. How far is it from pivot? It is 10 plus 35, 45 centimeters. So we don't have to worry about them converting them into meters. If all of them are centimeters, we can ignore that it has to be converted into meters because all of them can cancel. So 25t here becomes 500 plus 900. Okay, 25t becomes 1400. Let's divide both sides by 25. So this 25 will cancel and t comes out to be 1400 divided by 25, 56 Newton.
In question 7, they have given a table. There are age groups, they are equally distributed, and there are frequency, number of people. So it means that 18 people have age from 1 to 5, and say 20 people have age 21 to 25. This is what it is about. Using an assumed mean of 13. Okay, so assumed means you just take a random number and assume that that is the mean, somewhere in between here, somewhere here. So 13 they have already given to us, right? We can't use any other number. We could have used any other number if this was not given to us. Find the mean age of the people. So when you have grouped, we should represent one number from the group which will represent all of them. Like 1 to 5, there should be one number which represents all of them, and that is usually the mid value. And how do we find mid value? We just add the first limit, second limit divided by 2. So 1 plus 5, 6 divided by 2 is 3 is the mid value here. Similarly, 6 plus 10 is 16, divided by 2 is 8. Here we'll get 13, then 18, then 23 and 28. This is, I got all of them by adding the two numbers divided by 2. This is the mid value which will represent the whole group. So now this column does not exist for us. This will work. Now we have to include this 13. So what do? We do is whatever mid value we got, we subtract the assumed mean from it. And the purpose is to simplify the calculations because it is 3. 3 minus 13 will make it minus 10. Very simple, one number. 8 minus 13 is minus 5. 13 minus 13 is 0. 18 minus 13 is again 5. 23 minus 13 is 10. And then we have 15 here, right? And normally we have mean. Well, let's say x bar is equal to sigma fx over sigma f, right? Multiply frequency with x and divide by sigma frequency. So sigma f is here, which is, they have given any number of people? No. So we'll add them. 18 plus 12 is 30, 55, 70, 90, 100. Sigma f is 100. But this is estimated mean was included. So since we subtracted 13 from each data, we will add 13 to the mean we'll get for this number. And the x will not be x, it will be x minus 13 because we are subtracting 13 from each. That's why we will add 13 later. So let's do it. That means we have to multiply this and add them. So it will be minus 10 multiplied by 18 plus minus 5 multiplied by 12 plus 0 multiplied by 25 will be 0, so no need to write more, plus 5 times 15 plus 10 times 20 plus 15 times 10 divided by sigma f, which is 100, and we will add 13 once we get this. Let me write in front 13 plus. Okay, so what do we get here? 13 plus minus 180 plus minus 60 plus 0. 5 times 15 is 75, 200, 150 divided by 100. Okay, only this is being divided by 100, not 13. 13 is fixed. 13 minus 240, and this is, let's write minus 240 plus 350 plus is 470, 425 over 100. So now you can use your calculator. I'm doing it little mentally. Minus 185, no, positive 185 over 100. So it comes out to be 13 plus 1.85, which is 14.85 years. This is the mean age.
Question number 8 talks about two fair dice are thrown together 2 times. So there are one set of dice, right? They are thrown twice. Yes? So find the probability of obtaining a sum of 7 in the first throw and a sum of 4 in the second throw. The key word here is and. We need to see if second throw is independent of the first throw. Of course, if we throw it for the first time and we get something, it does not affect what comes later. So basically, if they are independent, we can simply say S7, rather probability of sum of 7 and multiplied by probability of sum is 4. So we have to just multiply sum of 7 with sum of 4 in 2 throws. First of all, let's make a sample space for one throw. So we can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is one throw, correct? And from one die, this is one die, okay? Second die is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and let's see what will be their sums. So we have to make a table on this.
So I have completed the table. Let me color this differently so that I don't confuse myself with the headings. So these are the two dice, and the one which I have not colored, the middle part, starting from this column ending at this column, is the sum of the two. For example, I got this 2 by adding 1 and 1. Similarly, suppose I got this 7 by adding 4 and 3. So now I can see that there are total 36 possibilities. Now, the first one, we said what is the probability the sum is 7. Okay, what is the sum is 7, and let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 out of 36. This is the possibility that the total sum is 7 in the first throw, which is 1 over 6. Yeah, I can cancel 6 and 36. In second throw, probability of 4 we want. So 1, 2 and 3, just 3. Okay, this 4 is the outcome of the die. It is not sum, okay, just these 3. So that is 3 over 36, which becomes 1 over 12. So the answer will be 1 over 6 multiplied by 1 over 12, which is 1 over 72. This is the probability. Question 9. The curve y equal to 7 minus 6 over x and the line intersect at 2 points. Find the coordinates of the 2 points. So suppose this curve is this line is here. So they are saying that find these 2 points of intersection. So at point of intersection, you can see that they have same x and y coordinate. Suppose this is the x-axis, so this is y length at this point, and both of them have same x and same y. So what I can do, I can rewrite this equation as y equal to minus 2x plus 3, and we have y here. We can equate both the y's and we'll get our points of intersection. So this is y, that means I can write minus 2x plus 3 equal to 7 minus 6 over x, and I have to solve this equation. To solve such an equation, first we should get rid of the denominator, so multiply the whole equation by x so that this denominator x cancels here. So x multiplied by minus 2x is minus 2x square, x times 3 is 3x equal to 7x minus 6. In this case, this x and x got cancelled out, and let's put everything to the right side, not left, because this is negative. So to make it positive, let's bring it here to the right side, and this 3x will become minus 3x, and this 7x is 7x minus 6. So what do we get? 2x square plus 4x minus 6. We can simplify this by dividing every component of the equation by 2. So it becomes simpler. So let me write this right side as left side. So it will be x square, because 2 and 2 cancel. 4 divided 2 is 2. So 2x minus 6 divided by 2 is 3 equal to 0. And we can now find 2x's from this. This is a quadratic equation. So 3 will be plus 3 and minus 1. Plus 3x minus x minus 3 equal to 0. So middle one, I broke into these two parts looking at the factors of minus 3. So x is common here, minus 1 is common here. So we get x plus 3 and x minus 1. So if we individually, this is equal to 0, right? So individually, if x plus 3 is equal to 0 or x minus 1 is equal to 0, so at the same point both can't be happening. So it will be x equal to minus 3 at one point or x equal to 1 at another point. So we got x coordinates minus 3 and 1 at two separate points. So this is negative 3 and this is 1. It is not to the scale, okay? I'm visualizing this. So they're saying coordinates. That means we have to find the y counterpart also here as well as here. And let's use the equation here, this one. Y equal to minus 2x plus 3. So first point, we had x equal to minus 3 here. So equal to minus 2 times minus 3 plus 3. So it becomes how much? 6 plus 3, 9. Second, y equal to minus 2, 1 plus 3, and minus 2 plus 3, 1. So we got 9 for this and 1 for this. These are the points of intersection. So we can write here okay. Equation of the perpendicular bisector of the line joining the 2 points. We have to find the equation of the perpendicular bisector. It will be somewhere here. This is a perpendicular bisector and we have to find the equation of this line. For writing the equation of a line, we need a point on it and the gradient of that line. And this is how we write it. Y and x are unchanged. y1, x1, y1 are the coordinates on the line. On this line, we can find only this line, which is the midpoint of these two. So let's find the midpoint. So for finding midpoint, x coordinate of this is minus 3 added to the x coordinate of the other one divided by 2. Y coordinate is 9 plus y coordinate of the other one divided by 2. So this becomes our x1, which is minus 2 divided by 2 minus 1. 9 plus 1, 10, 5. This is midpoint. And this point we will use in this equation because that midpoint is on this white line. So y minus 5 and x minus 1. Now m is a problem, the gradient. So let's find gradient here. Gradient of, have they given any name to the line? Okay. So let's give a line a name. A here and B here. So AB point. Okay. Gradient of line AB will be y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus y1, and these are the points. Let's say y2 is this one, 9 minus 1 divided by x2. X2 is minus 3 minus 1. So 9 minus 1 is 8 divided by negative 4, which is minus 2. This is the gradient of this yellow line. But we want the gradient of this white line, which is perpendicular to yellow line. Perpendicular means negative reciprocal. So gradient of perpendicular bisector will be negative reciprocal of this. First reciprocal of 2, 1 over 2. Negative of negative, positive. So half. We will write that here. And now we can write the equation of the white line. So for that, let's multiply 2 with here and 1 inside here. So 2y minus 10 equal to x, and this is plus. 2 negatives will make it plus, so plus 1. Let's collect everything to the right side again because x is positive. I want it to be positive. So x is already here. This 2y will be minus 2y. This minus 10 will be plus 10 and plus 1. So 0 equal to x minus 2y plus 11. If you want to write this specific 0 on the right side now, you can do that. This is the equation of the perpendicular bisector. Alright, what is in question number 10? Question number 10 says find the range of values of p for which 4x squared minus px plus 1 has real roots. Roots, not root. That means there are 2 real roots, and for 2 real roots, the discriminant b square minus 4ac has to be greater than 0. So I'm going to do it here. Then what is a? A is 4. B is minus P, and C is plus 1. This is what we're going to use in this one. So minus P square minus 4AC has to be greater than 0. So this will be completely positive because negative is also inside the bracket. So the square will make it positive. Minus 16 greater than 0. Whenever we have inequality, do not bring 16 to the other side, rather factor this. We have an identity which is a plus b and a minus b. If you multiply them, you get a square minus b square. That is a perfect square minus a perfect square. That's what you get. And here we have a perfect square minus perfect square. That means we can do the opposite. We can write this p plus 4, which is square root of 16, and p minus 4 greater than 0, and that's how I converted a quadratic into its factors. Now there are two of them and their multiplication should be greater than 0. The better way is that we draw a number line graph, say this root. Here this will give me, if I make it equal to 0, the root I get here is 4, which becomes the x-intercept if it was a function. So this was minus 4 rather, and this is 4. So suppose this is minus 4, this is 4, and p is positive. If leading coefficient is positive, the graph opens up. So it will open like this. And question is that it is greater than 0. And we have to focus on the areas which are greater than 0. It is here and here. Y is greater than 0, right? And that is because we have to write answer in P. They said range of values of P. So we have to give answer in terms of P. This is P axis. So it is positive when P is less than negative 4. And it is also positive when P is greater than 4. These are the range of values of P. Let's talk about B. Okay. Expand 1 plus 3x to the power 6 in ascending powers of x. So 1 plus 3x to the power 6. So whenever we have to do binomial expansion, we should start with this in ascending powers of x, right? So start with 0, x to the power 0. But we can't give only x power 0. We have to give 3x also to the power 0. That means before this we will write 6c0. This number and this number match. Then we write the remaining term, which is 1 to the power 6. Because there is no power with 3x, so all 6 goes to 1. This is our first term. Similarly, there will be 6, 1. It went up by 1. Similarly, the power of 3x will also go up by 1. That makes it ascending powers of x, right? But here it will go down by 1. So their sum should be 6. 1 plus 5 is 6. 0 plus 6 is 6. So this is how I'm going to complete this without talking now. Please observe. And I have completed the expansion. So let me evaluate them. So 6c0 is 1, this is 1, this is also 1, and this is also 1. So total we get here just 1. The first term is 1. 6c1 is 6 times 3 is 18x, and because 1 to the power 5 is 1, so 18x plus 6c2 is 15. 3x squared, 3 will also be squared, so it will be 9x squared. And 1 to the power 4 is 1. Plus 6c3 is 20. 3 cube is 27, x cube, 1 ignored. 6 c4 is again 15, 3 to the power 4 81, x to the power 4 plus 6 c5 is 6, 3 to the power 5 is 243, x to the power 5 and 1. 66 is 1, this is 1, and 3 to the power 6 is 729, x to the power 6. Finally, it will be 1 plus 18x plus 15 times 9, 135 x square, 20 times 27, 540 x cube plus 15 times 1 is 15, 121 x to the power 4 plus 8 1458 x to the power 5 plus 729 x to the power 6. Okay, we have a second part also. Let's do it here. Using the expression 10, we want correct to the 4 significant figures the value of this. So you have to use what we got in first part, which was 1 plus 3 x to the power 6. So this has to be written as 1 plus 3 times. So I want this can be written as 1 plus 0.03, correct? So I want to get 3 times something which will be 0.03, and that something is 0.01 and power 6. And what is the advantage? Advantage is that we don't have to expand like this, just use the last line we got here. So it will be 1 plus 18 times 0.01. They want 4 significant figures, so we'll stop where 4 significant figures end. So what is next? 135 and then 0.01 to the power 2. So this 0.01 square will be 0.00014 decimal places are here. I think this will be enough, but let's do one more. 540 0.01 cube. Okay, I'm not going to the 4 and 5 and 6 because there 0.01 to the power 4 will be beyond 4 significant figures, so it won't affect our answer. So I'm not writing after this. So 1 plus 18 times 0.01, 2 decimal places will become 0.18 plus this will give me 4 decimal places, so we have just 3 here, so we'll have to add 1 0 in front. That becomes 4 decimal places. Please use your calculator if you're not comfortable with this. Here we need 6 decimal places and we have just 5403, so we need 3 zeros. Okay, so what do we get here? 1, there is no ones place, so 1 plus tens place 1 0 and 0, so nothing to add to this. 0 point, I'm adding all of them together. Okay, these 3's. Okay, 1 is here. Now tens place, hundredths place rather, 100th place, 8 plus 1 9, and the next is 0, so 9. Nothing after this, so third 3 1 1 2 3, so 3 remains 3. Fourth place, nothing from here. Fourth place, 1 2 3 4, yeah, 5 is here, and 1 2 3 4. 5 plus 5 is 10, so that will make this one 4. So that's it. It will be 1.1940, but 4 significant figures will be 1 2 3 4, these only, so 1.194. That's it, the one. This is the answer of B part 2. Given that m is such that the image of xy is 7y, 3x minus y, and n is such that this. Write down the matrices m and n of the linear transformation. Okay, it's easy to write the matrices if we know the transformations. So 7y. So first we write this and x, y. So 7y, the multiplication of this times this and plus this times this will be 7y. That means x should be multiplied with 0. So it has to be 0. And 7 will be here. So 7 times y will be 7y. So we got 7y. Now 3x. 3 times x is 3x minus y. So minus 1 times y is minus y. So that's why our M matrix is 0, 7, 3, minus 1. Similarly, we'll do n also. So we need 2x minus y. So 2 times x minus 1 times y. So 2 minus 1 on top. Then 5 times x is 5x and 3 times y is 3y. So n is 2 minus 1, 5, 3. That's straightforward. B part. Find the image of point 2 minus 3 under linear transformation n followed by m. That means n will be used first. So let's do that. N was 2 minus 1, 5, 3. And the point is 2 minus 3. We will write in column notation and just transform. 2 times 2 is 4. Minus 1 times minus 3 will be positive 3. 5 times 2 is 10. 3 times minus 3 is minus 9. So the transformation is 7, 1. Yeah, 7, 1. Now this 7, 1 will be transformed by m now. N followed by m is like this. So we will write m here now. What is m? M is 0, 7, 3 minus 1. So what will that be? 0 times 7 is 0. 7 times 1 is 7. 3 times 7, 21. Minus 1 times 1, minus 1. So 7, 20. So the point x, what is the question? Question is find the image of the point or the linear transformation. So point P prime will be 7, 20. This is the answer. B part. C part. Find the coordinates of the point Q whose image is 2, 4. We want to find some point xy whose image is 2, 4 under n, and n was this. Yeah, 2 minus 1, 5, 3. And they've already written here, this is the transformation they've written here. So 2x minus y, 2 times x minus y is equal to 2. And second equation is 5x plus 3 y is equal to 4. Simultaneous equation. So let's isolate this y. So 2x minus 2 will be equal to y. And since we have y isolated, we can substitute that y here. 5x plus 3, 2x minus 2 equal to 4. Y replaced by its counterpart. So 5x plus 6x minus 6 equal to 4. 11x equal to 4, and this minus 6 becomes plus 6, so 10. 4 plus 6, 10. X equal to 10 over 11. What about y? Y is 2x minus 2. 2x minus 2. So 20 over 11 minus 2. Yeah. So 22 and minus 22 plus 20. Minus 2 over 11. 2 over 11. Yeah. So this becomes, what is the question? Find the coordinates of the point Q. So Q is 10 over 11, comma, negative 2 over 11.
Here in question 12, they are saying that in examination, 60% of the candidates pass. It is confirmed. That means any sample we take, 60% of them will pass. That means the probability of passing is 0.6. Doesn't matter how many people you select. That means the probability of failing is 0.4. Yes, there is no third option. People either pass or fail. So the question is asking A part, at least 2 of them failed. What is the probability of this? So at least 2 of them. That means probability of 2 failing, or probability of 3 failing, or probability of 4 failing, and so on up to probability of 10 failing. This will make it a very long solution because there are so many probabilities we have to calculate. And for or, we write plus. So to save time, what we can do, we can find the probability that none of them failed, or probability that one of them failed. Only these two, and subtract these probabilities from 1. And that will give us an answer that at least 2 of them failed. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up to 10 are excluded in these two. But when we make it 1 minus, it becomes the inclusive. And that gives us the answer. So we'll do this. This is binomial probability. Why? Binomial probability has 4 conditions. First, there should be a success or failure probability, no third possibility that is there in this question. Number 2, there should be a fixed number of selections that is there. Number 3, the probability must not change, and that is happening. It is 0.6 for passing, 0.4 for failing throughout. And number 4, the events should be independent. That means the chances of one person passing or failing does not affect the chances of another person passing or failing. So independence is there. So all 4 conditions are met. We can use binomial probability in this one. So for probability that none of them failed. Fail is the criteria. So we will use binomial probability. So we have n, which is n, c, and we don't want any failure. Then we write same exponent to the probability of failure, which is 0.4. And then remaining go to the pass probability, which is 10. The sum of 0 and 10 must be this number. And this number must match. That's how binomial probability works. Okay, that is 0. Now we'll go to the second one, which is 1 failed. Again, 0.4 to the power 1, matching with 1, and remaining from 10 will be given to passing, 0.6 to the power 9. And this is what whole thing you can put in your calculator and it will give you an answer. The answer it is giving me is 0.9536. There's a very high probability that at least 2 of them fail. Let's move on to B part. In B part, they're saying that exactly, it was at least, so we had so many options, but exactly means just one option. Half of them pass. That means we should be aware what is half of 10, which is 5 exactly. So we can use again binomial probability in this one, and it will be 10C5, and 5 matches with 5. and they said pass. Though it doesn't matter which one we write because failing is also getting an exponent of 5. So this should not challenge. Just put this in a calculator and answer I'm getting is 0.2007. All right, C part. At most, 2 of them fail. Again, just like at least, here it is at most. That means probability that 0 of them are failing, or 1 is failing, or 2 are failing, and no third. This is at most 2, isn't it? So we'll use the same thing again. 10 C0 failing, right? 0.4 to the power 0, 0.6 to the power 10 plus 10C1, 0.4 to the power 1, 0.69 plus 10C2, 0.4 to the power 2, 0.6 to the power 8 now, because 2 plus 8, 10. And put all of them in a calculator. The answer should be 0.1673.
Question 13. In a research to determine relationship between performance of a student and entrance examination and subsequent school performance, results are randomly selected. Okay, these are the results: performance in entrance exam and school performance. They are the ones. Calculate Spearman's rank correlation. So Spearman's rank correlation is 1 minus 6 sigma d square n square minus 1, where n is number of data, which is 10 in this case. So we can write here 10 square minus 1. Sigma d square is the difference between their ranks. It is a rank correlation coefficient, right? So we have to find that one. Let's write ranks first. So we can see that 17 is the performance in entrance exam. C is number 1. So we will write 1 here. Okay, let me change the color. So it will be rank 1 here. Then rank 2 will be 16. And this is how I will keep on writing. Number 3 will be here. So I have written all the ranks in school performance also. So number 4 with number 14, this is number rank 1, and with just 4, this is rank 10. Now we have to find D. Let me write D on top. What is the difference between the two ranks? This is 9, this is 7, so difference is 9 minus 7, 2. This is 4, this is 6. 4 minus 6 is minus 2. If you want to write plus 2, that is also okay, because we are going to square it later. Yeah. So 5 minus 9 is negative 4. 7 minus 5 is 2. 10 minus 10 is 0. And then we have 6 minus 3, 0, minus 3, minus 2, no, positive 2, and 0. Now, sigma d square. We need sigma d square, right? That means add them after squaring. What is the square of this d? 2 square is 4. Minus 2 square is also 4. Then we have minus 4 square, 16. Positive, everything is becoming positive, right? That's why which you subtract from which is not important. So this is sigma d square. We will add them now. 4 plus 4 is 8, 24, 28, 37, 46, 50. Sigma d square is 50, and now we will write here 6 times 50 and 1 minus. So just put this in a calculator, and by the time I do this, I would request you to like this video by hitting that thumbs up icon, share this video with your friends, and please subscribe to this channel. Thank you very much. I got 0.696969, so let's say 697. That's A part. B. What would be the researchers from researchers conclusion from the result in 13A? The researchers conclusion would be that there is a positive correlation between performance in entrance exam and school performance. All right, let's go to question number 14. Yeah, a body moving at 20 meter per second accelerates. That means it's moving at 20 meters per second, so u equal to 20 meter per second, accelerates uniformly 2.5 meters per second square. 2.5 can be written as 5/2 meters per second square for 4 seconds. Okay, t equal to 4 seconds. It continues the journey at the same speed for 8 seconds. Okay, so then situation changes. So whatever speed it reaches in this is stage 2. Whatever is the speed it reaches here, suppose this is the stage 1 going. It reaches here at certain speed and that speed is maintained. That means acceleration is 0. Time is 8 seconds. Before coming to rest, that means after some times that constant speed also finishes after 8 seconds. Whatever is u is whatever is the v here is the u here, because it's maintained throughout. All right, and then v is 0 in this one because it comes to rest. That's what they're saying. T seconds. So this time is t seconds. Okay. Uniform acceleration. If the ratio of acceleration and retardation, this is acceleration here. So retardation, let's say A2. This is A1. This was accelerating. It is acceleration to retardation is 3/4. That means acceleration is lesser, retardation is more. That means A2 is 4/3 of 5/2. Please pause for some time and see. How did I decide it's 4/3, not 3/4? Because they said acceleration to retardation is 3/4. That means acceleration is 3 units, retardation is 4 units. That means retardation is more. In such case, we write the one which is more. For 4/3 will give us more than 1, right? So let me finish this. 2 10/3 meters per second square is the retardation here. Time is not given. All right, so its questions are missing here. So A part was draw a VT diagram or VT graph for this situation. So we'll do what? We'll do like this. V here, T here, 0 it starts. U is 20 meters per second. That is speed at time equal to 0 is 20. So it starts from here. Now it accelerates. That means the speed becomes faster and it becomes something. We don't know how it's something. Let's say that one. V equal to U plus AT. This is a kinematic formula. So we can find what is this V at this point. E equal to 20 plus A is 5/2 and time is 4 seconds. They've given here 4 seconds. So 20 plus 10, 30 meters per second. So if this is 10, this will be 30. Time is 4 seconds. So let's say 4 seconds is here. So our graph will be at 4:30. After 4 seconds, 30 meter per second is the speed, and this becomes the graph of the first stage. Now this is maintained for next 8 minutes. 4, 8, and 12. So 4 to 8 is 8 minutes, right? So till 12 it maintains 30 meters per second, horizontal line. And then there are t seconds. We don't know how much is that time, but during that time it is faster. The gradient will be faster, but in this direction it will be a retardation, and it stops. It stops, makes, so this is 12 plus t. We don't know how much. Okay, this t is t axis. This time is 12 plus t total. All right, this is the VT graph. All right. Next one was find t. B part. Find t. Okay. So how can we find t? Let's find the gradient of this part from 12 seconds to 12 plus t. What is the gradient of this? That gradient, because it's a VT graph, the gradient of a VT graph is acceleration. That should be 10 over 3. Correct? And that should be minus 10 over 3. So the magnitude of A2 is 10 over 3, but because direction is negative, we'll write negative 10 over 3 is gradient of this. Okay. Normally, if you know, the gradient is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So here it will be v2 minus v1 over t2 minus t1. So first let's write the coordinates of this one. They are 12, 30. And here the coordinates are 12 plus t and 0. Right? And that's what it will be. y2 minus y1. So y2, this one. 0 is y2 and 30. 0 minus 30. We can't take because it is going from there to there, so this becomes v2. Okay, t2 is 12 plus t and minus 12. 12 minus 12 cancel. So what are we left with? Minus, okay, let's do cross multiply. T times minus 10 will be minus 10 t equal to 3 times minus 30 is minus 90. So t becomes minus 90 over minus 10, which is 9 seconds. And there is a C part also to this question where they are asking what is the distance traveled in these, how many seconds? 21 seconds now, right? 12 plus 9, 21 seconds. So total distance traveled in 3 stages. And in a VT graph, it is very easy to find distance. Just find the area of the shape under the curve between the t-axis and the graph, whatever is the area. Now to find that area, we will have to divide this shape into different parts. Let's write this one first. Isn't this a trapezium? This one, right? Let's find the area of this trapezium. Okay, this trapezium, the area of trapezium is half first parallel line, which is this 20, plus second parallel line, which is this 30, multiplied by the height. Height means the distance between them. Distance between those two parallel lines is 4. So 2 and 4 cancel. 50 times 2 is 100 meters. In this stage, it traveled 100 meters. Now comes this rectangle, second part, stage 2. So rectangle's area is length times width. What is length? Length is this, 30. Yeah, this is 30. So 30 times width, 4 to 12 is 8 seconds. So 240 meters was traveled in this one. This is a triangle. The area of a triangle is half base times height. What is base? This is the base, and we got it t as 9 seconds here. Height is 30 again. So 2 and 30 can cancel. 15 times 9. 135 meters was traveled in third stage. So our total distance comes out to be 100 plus 240 plus 135. equal to 475 meters was the total distance traveled in these three stages.
In part A of question 15, they have given this relationship. M equal to I minus j, n equal to 2I plus 3j, and they're asking us to find the magnitude of R. So let's do what? The third equation they have given, let's substitute the values of m and n in this. So 2m plus n minus r equal to 0. This is what they're saying. So in place of m, we'll write its vectors I minus j plus n. N is 2i plus 3j. And then minus r equal to 0. So let's put this r to the right side, and rest of it will give us the value of r. So what is the vector r? 2i minus 2j plus 2i plus 3j. So 2i plus 2i makes it 4i, minus 2j plus 3j is just plus j r. But they're asking the magnitude. So magnitude of r will be square of the coefficient of I, which is 4, square of coefficient of j, which is 1. And it comes out with 16 plus 1, 17. Square root 17 is the magnitude of r. Let's move on to the B part, which has nothing to do with vectors. It says that the distance s meters of a moving particle after t seconds is given by this. Since they're saying distance, so we don't have to worry about the direction. All right. They're saying find the time. First part says find the time when the particle is momentarily at rest. So we should know at rest means the velocity is 0. But if you notice, the equation is not about velocity, it is the distance s. So we have to convert this to velocity first. And to convert distance into velocity, we differentiate the equation. So ds over dt, that will be the differentiation with respect to time. ds over dt will be the differentiation of 3t. 3t differentiation of just 3 minus t cube over 3. So t cube over 3 is the one we have to differentiate. So 3 comes in front. It will be 3t square over 3 is a constant, so we will not touch it. 3 and 3 cancel. So t square is the differentiation of t cube over 3, and plus 9 is the third term, and differentiation of any constant is always 0, so we will not write it. Now they said momentarily at rest, that means v equal to 3 minus t square is equal to 0 because velocity is 0 at rest. So we will make the equation like this, and we'll see like 3 equal to t square, square root both sides. So the time when it is at momentarily at rest is square root 3. It should be plus minus square root 3, but time cannot be negative, so we'll just write square root 3. This is the time, the answer of the first part. If you want to write in decimal, 73 seconds. Right. Second is the distance traveled. Now we have the distance equation. We know the time. We'll just plug in the time into it. So s equal to 3 times place of time. I will write square root 3 minus t cube. So square root 3 cube over 3 plus 9. That gives me about 12.46 meters.